Oh yeah, how are you doing? I'm just at a loss for what to talk about again. But I thought after the last couple of videos being very short, I thought it's time I did something to entertain you. Mia's just had her dinner. Bonnie's had her. Mia's down here. Bonnie's over there behind me on the shelf. And so it's just us three as usual. Three musketeers. I was thinking this morning I was having a cup of tea. I was holding the mug like that, as you do, to warm your hands up, sort of thing. Not that it's cold, not that it's cold, but it's damp and horrible. I've got the fire lit now, and I'm bloody hot in here. But I'd rather be have the fire and feel a bit of warmth than the pervasive damp that's been inflicted on us by this government through this incessant rainfall. Or, as I was told, not the government's fault. Well, it is the government's fault. They're the ones who put the planes up, but it's instigated by others, wealthy people. For some, God knows, I don't know what the bloody reason for it all is to make us all miserable. Something to do with lowering the population of the world. Why not start with Britain? Um, anyway, I don't want to get into all that. That's politics, and I don't. I hate politics. I was going to swear then. I'm better of it. I'm going to tell you this little story about when I was little. When I was a little boy, I had a big gap in my teeth just there at the front, between the two front teeth. There's a great big gap, and they said if you could fit half a crown in there, you would travel the world. And I could actually fit a half a crown in there. Not that I saw half a crown very often, but occasionally I got the chance to experiment to see if my gap could still fit it, and yeah, it fitted it for till I think I was in my twenties, early twenties, when the gap disappeared. In fact, it got dislodged. I'll tell you what happened. I was sitting in this cafe in Glasgow. I love Glasgow. Lovely, lovely place. Nice people, apart from the ones who I'm about to tell you about. Although, you know, kids, you know what we're like. Although I wasn't really a kid, was I, at that age in my early 20s? These guys were the same age as me. I was sitting in this cafe. I was probably, I can't remember exactly, but I was probably having a cup of tea and a buttered roll, which was about all I could afford in those days. Anyway, I was sitting there minding my own business. There were some lads further up with some young ladies. I'd noticed them looking at me, but I tried my best not to, what's the word, interact with them because they were a gang. You can tell they're a gang. Uh, so what I did was I turned instead of sitting facing them, I changed positions. So I had my back to them, which I know it's silly, man of me turning my back on them. Anyway, I turned my back on them because I didn't want to keep looking at them because you know when you get stared at and you can't sort of avoid looking back, can you? Well, I can't. So I turned. I shouldn't have done it. That really seemed to upset them. And I was just drinking my cup of tea and eating my roll, and something smashed me. I'm telling this story wrong because I got smashed across the head there. with a Coke bottle. The bottle didn't break, it just dropped onto the table. He must have come up behind me. Oh, and he was just done a backhander with his Coke bottle as he went past me. Bang, like that. That's what happened. I'm sorry, my memory's not that great. Anyway, there's a scar there still. He he ran out the door, and of course, because I've got a very hard head, um, it had been hit quite a lot in my early days. It didn't really affect me that much. It hurt, obviously. And I got up and I chased after him. I caught up with him and was administering street justice when the rest of the gang appeared and beat the shit out of me. Boots, everything. I'm very lucky I didn't get razored. I don't know why I didn't get razored, because at that time, the razor gangs of Glasgow were quite busy. Anyway, they gave me this damn good beating. They were called Tongs. That was the name of the gang. Tongs, you bass. You'd see it all written all over Glasgow. Tongs, you bass. In graffiti. So anyway, they gave me this bloody good hiding, and I gave as good as I could. And at the end of it all, I just gave up and rolled up in a ball. Eventually, they stopped kicking, and one of them had an umbrella. He was getting beaten by an umbrella. Anyway, at the end of it all, they picked me up, dusted me down, and like gentlemen. That's it. The one with the umbrella also had a bowler hat. He looked like a city gent. That's it. They were all into their clothes, their smart clothes. Um, I was never into all that. I was in the navy, so I was in a merchant navy, so I was more Wranglers, jeans and stuff, denim. Yeah, these are all, and like the jumpers they wore, they golfing jumpers, things like that. Can't remember what the name of those jumpers were now, but they were very in for this gang. Anyway, they picked me up, tidied me up and everything a bit. They had bloody good show. No, I didn't say bloody good show. They're Glasgow lads, but they were nice. They were all right. They thought I'd put up a good fight. We went back to the cafe, and apparently what I'd done wasn't anything to do with turning my back. It was because one of their girlfriends had been looking at me. Apparently, I'd looked back. I mean, I don't blame the girl. Anyway, at the end of it all, the teeth here they weren't gone, but they were smashed in half. Anyway, I had to. I went for years with broken teeth like that. Badge of honour. And eventually, well, I don't know. I think it's in my 30s when I finally got these caps. My teeth are still there. I've still got all my own teeth. Not bad for an old one, except that these are caps. And that was the end of my half crown gap. That's how that came about. Well, I did travel. I did travel the world a bit, but I was just thinking earlier today. I've been to loads of places, but I've never actually been anywhere. If you know what I mean. I wasn't a touristy type. I wasn't interested in going looking around. Um, I mean, I might have looked in the nearest town, but I was just happy. I was happy at sea. I like to go to sea. I like to be on the ship, on the ocean. But when I got where I was going, where we were going, the nearest pub was. If I went anywhere, it was just a pub. So I travelled seven seas, as they say. Never saw anything. Now, why I'm telling you this is because I've been watching some YouTube channels of young people traveling, and I'm thinking to myself, yes, yes, they should do it now while they're young. They're quite right. Do it now while you're young. Don't wait till you're old because you might not never do it. Things like that. And I thought, well, when I was young, I wouldn't have really wanted to do it. If I hadn't been a merchant seaman, I don't think I would have travelled far, to be honest. I'm just a stopping, what you got, stick in the mud type. I don't really want to. I don't really want to explore the world. I mean, I'd like, obviously, there's things like I'd love to go to Canada, or I would have loved to go. I did go to Canada, but I mean, I would like to have gone to Canada and visited it properly and gone to into the forests and the lakes, and camped and met wild bears and things like that. But would I really? Do I miss the fact that I didn't do that? No, I don't. I'm quite happy. I've travelled the world and I've seen fuck all, and I just don't care. How did this story start? Started with a gap in my tooth. Yeah, so that's that. I'm sure there was something else I wanted to talk to you about. Oh, I know. It was thinking, holding that cup. I was holding my mug of tea. How did I get away from the subject? I was holding my mug of tea, yeah, I was holding my mug of tea, and I looked at my hands, and I thought, God, they're all wrinkled, veins showing, some brown spots on my hands. Oh, you're getting old, John. You better do stuff before you get too old. And then I realised I am too old. They say age is just a number. Well, it's not. Age is age. Age is getting old and not being able to do things that you used to do. Age is just you wearing out. That's all it is. So anyway, no, I don't regret that I didn't. I wasn't very, very adventurous. I was adventurous in this country. I went all over, like Scotland. Well, I say I was adventurous. I never went to Wales until I was in my 40s, and I'd never been to Ireland, north or south. But I was adventurous in Scotland, my camping trips. Scotland's a great place to be adventurous in all sorts of weathers. So that's it. I've travelled the world. I ain't seen much, but I don't regret it. I've got no concerns that I haven't seen the pyramids. Oh, actually, well, I have seen. Yeah, I've been to Egypt, but you know what I mean, don't you? I didn't go to. I saw $1 Million Bogan. Sorry, Paul, I didn't mean to mention him, but I saw him. He went to the statues. Where they're carved into the cliff. All the presidents. I can't remember where it is now. He went to see that, and well, he thought it was marvelous, and I thought, yeah, good carving. But it's a tourist attraction. There's millions of bloody people wandering about there. Like all the famous places, the Taj Mahal, bloody tourists. Anywhere famous, full of tourists. Bloody tourists, bloody foreigners. Anyway, I spent 14, 20 seconds now talking a load of old folk talk. I was going to say rubbish. It's not rubbish, is it? It's just thoughts. So it's 14 and a half minutes, so I'll just keep this going for a few more seconds and then call it a day. Thank you very much for joining me. It's always great to know you're there. We're slowly getting up the old subscriber ladder. Not that that's very important, although it would be good if I could make a few bob on this channel. I'll say goodbye now. That's 15 minutes and 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. I mean 5 seconds. Look after yourself. Bye.